Ekangalos, folks. Uh, I got cut. When I went to go get a little something put together, and I don't know, it just shut my video down. So uh, I'm just gonna pick up where I was at. This book right here, I was talking about the script. The script, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and this here. If you see my other videos, I used this little piece right here, and was explaining this right here. This is the temple. This is that's what they got in your godhead, or that's why you can't get up on the stage, or if you get up on the stage, you got to follow, that sodomite and his trannies that was there beside him. But anyway, let's see. Okay. An index of the several chapters contained in this book, and it's not so easy to tell here in this old one. It's what we want though. Soul, yeah. But so that you can kind of get an idea of where we at here. I see. This is supposed to be the same. People would tell you that, oh, I mean, it's easier to read, but I'm going to tell you right now that they had to do something, because this right here, now you can see what they're doing, what it says. You see what I mean? This may seem to be more clear to you because this is the way you was trained. But you have to, because my wife, she wants to sit here with the dumb shit, try to be like this, that, and the other. Okay, think about it. They're there trying to deceive you. You know that the deception is, the beast. Okay? So let's not fucking play this dumb shit. Alright? I don't know. She know better. But, so I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with the old school. You know what I mean? Because I'm knowing that where we at, what they ended up coming up with, is built on the fucking deception, man. That's what it's geared around. It's what engineered around. And when I tell you that, because I know it's coming. People's gonna hear what I said, and they're gonna jump on it. And I did, because I did say, and I did intimate that, fucking damn it, they put that in me on you for a reason, because they don't want you to have no fun. But I told you I'm not trying, just because I won't have a mess, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm meaning anything nefarious. You see what I mean? And see, back here, in this times, you go back and read some of these, you can tell that there's more reasons than there's good reasons for every fucking one of the bad shit what they try to bring to you, and then they try to like couch the other in the lukewarm area. No, there's a fucking a good, and really, that's all there is. And here we got this perpetrator over here. That's why you can't find no content you won't fucking hear or see or doing anything for you. Because if you're not coming from the good, you can't create. You sit there stumped. I guess. I don't know, because I don't have a problem. But I can see that it seems to be a problem. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and jump off in here. I want to read this little piece right here, because it's very telling. And you can just look at the spelling. Once you get to going, this stuff you have to read it verbally. You know what I mean? If you try to just read over it, you won't get the effect. Now this word here, I mean, I noticed that it's I-O. If you follow me, you know what I mean. Like, that's big. I-O. Okay, because I told y'all that the Latin, all the damn language is fucking English. You can understand that shit. Is what I mean by that. You can understand what the damn tone, the utterance. You can understand it, man. Now check this out. Okay. Origin of language. Now I told you I've got a BA in English, so I mean this isn't the first rodeo I've had with the whole. I've had linguistic classes and all of that shit's what I'm saying, and this right here, bam. All right, language, as well as the faculty of speech, must have been the immediate gift of God. The primitive language, or the common language used in the plain of Shinar, or in Chaldea, before the dispersion at Babel, is supposed to have been the original Chaldee, a cognate dialect of the Hebrew. The following is a synoptical view of languages in the order of derivation. You have the primitive language, which, I mean, I'm saying it's, I mean, because look at it. None of this shit, all of them are dead. They're all dead. Mark indicates that the language is not now spoken, meaning that shit, okay? So, one line. Somebody tell me what's going on here. Have you ever seen anything like this before? And I'm telling you this right here, this gothic shit, that's the fucking GOAT, man. It is. It's the GOAT. I mean, I don't mean no disrespect by that. I mean that fucking, that's because that's what it is. That's what Gotham is. I mean, they can't mask it up no more. On me anyway. I mean, you shouldn't be able to do it to you either. Doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily mean it's nothing bad. I don't think. You know what I mean? But you just gotta know what you're dealing with. I mean, it's what you gotta take away from it what you can. You can make anything fucking. You can do whatever you want. But my advice, I don't have any. I add boss to nothing. I want to know, just like you want to know, what's going on. And when they get ready to start talking, as you can see here, and all this shit's the same shit, man. And they put that jibby jabber with it, but we're not fooled. And you can even look at these are American languages before the standard American English that we're speaking now. You see what I mean? And basically, I mean, he's just telling you, like, as for the pronunciation, our Syriacois have the Greek, I'm not sure, which we call the, and their words do commonly end in a, as Syriacois, Sequoia, Captain, Captina, Normand, Normandia, Basque, Bascoa, and so on, so forth. I mean, I like this. Martre, a Martin, Martra. Hey, you can clearly see the connection to the words, man. It's not that much different. I mean, same shit. Now, where you get into, where it gets tricky is where people, from one region to the next, you'll have a word that means something different. Like, I mean, I probably read Polecat 100 times and didn't know what the fuck they were talking about until uh, I was watching something, one of them old videos. I don't know if I did a breakdown on it or not. I don't think I did. But that son of a bitch said, he said, he described it. Yeah, he described it. He said, it's black and it's got the white running down it. And I would always thought that it was like something that like slept in a tree or something. I didn't know. And he was like, as soon as he said it, and because he was talking about like the regional differences in the dialects, and he says, man, what he asked what they would call it, and he was telling where they were from based off what they their response. And like I said, polecat, and I was like, damn. Well, because you're trying to keep that motherfucker. You want him well further than an arm's length away. I mean, as soon as they said it, I was like, shit. Come on, man. Or when he said something about when he described it. But anyway, I'm gonna try and get to it. This right here, okay? You see this? I-O. Well, we all know that I-O is I am. Because if you're anything, I mean, if you're writing in this Latin where this shit's all capitalized, you don't want to be ham. You see what I mean? But this doesn't say anything because it don't have no mid dot. Like, I mean, and you can see it. I mean, if I was just making this shit up, man, I mean, what's up with the mid dot? Why they got it there? Why they had the fucking mid dots in these shits when they're, I mean, well, check into it. Because I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there's fire, man. And I mean, it's gonna burn this motherfucker down if y'all don't pay attention. No, so I noticed this right here, I-O. But this is him. Was born in a village called Domremy, upon the marches of Bar, near to Vaucouleurs. Okay, I'm sorry. Her parents, James of Arc and Isabel, were very poor people and brought her up to keep sheep. Wherefore a while we will leave her, and come to behold the miserable estate of the kingdom of France wherein she lived. In her time Charles VII was the distressed French king, having not only one league, two entire provinces left him, Gascon and Languedoc, and his enemies were about them, and in all the rest which were possessed by the English under their young king Henry VI, and his aged generals, the Duke of Bedford, and the Earls of Salisbury and Suffolk. Besides, they had besieged the city of Orleans, and brought it to that pass that the highest hopes of those therein was to yield on good terms. Matters standing in this woeful case, 3 French noblemen projected with themselves to make a cordial for the consumption of the spirits of their king and countrymen. But this seemed a great difficulty to perform, the French people being so much dejected, and when men's hearts are once drawn, it is hard to fasten any pulleys to them to draw them up. However, they resolved to pitch upon some project out of the ordinary road of accidents, to elevate the people's fancies thereby, knowing that men's fancies easily slip off from smooth and common things, but are quickly catched and longest kept in such plots as have odd angles and strange, unusual corners in them. Hereupon they concluded to set up the aforesaid Joan of Arc, to make her pretend that she had a revelation. Now, I guess this is her Joan of Arc, victorious leader of the French armies. She was condemned by the English for a witch and burnt at Rouen, July the 6th, 1461, being about 22 years of age. revelation from heaven to be the leader of an army to drive all the English out of France, and she being an handsome, witty, and bold maid, about 20 years of age, was both apprehensive of the plot and very active to prosecute it. But other ours will not admit of our such complotting, but make her move thereunto either of her own, or by some spirit's instigation. You notice that? I mean, he I thought it was right now. You see what I mean? You can't buy into that dumb shit. Like, I mean, there ain't no. You wrap your mind around this shit. By the mediation of by the mediation of a lord, she was brought to the presence of King Charles, whom she instantly knew, though never seen before, and at that time of set purpose much disguised. This very thing some heighten to a miracle, though others make it fall much beneath a wonder, as being no more than a scholar's ready saying of that lesson, which he hath formerly learned without book. To the king she boldly delivers her message, how that this was the time wherein the sins of the English and the sufferings of the French were come to the height, and she appointed by the God of heaven to be the French leader to conquer the English. If this opportunity were let slip, let them thank heaven's bounty for the tender, and their own folly for the refusal. And who would pity their eternal slavery, who thrust their own liberty from themselves? That's what I'm fucking trying to tell you, man. This is real shit, man. He must be deaf indeed who hears not that spoken which he desires. Yes, that's right. Charles triumphs at this news. Both his armies were too few to embrace the motion. The fame of her flies through France, and all talk of her whom the divinities esteem as Deborah, the soul dyers as Semiramis. People found out a nest of miracles in her education, that so lion-like a spirit should be bred amongst sheep like David. Ever after she went in man's clothes, being armed cap a p, and mounted on a brave steed, and which was a wonder when she was on horseback. None was more bold and daring. When alighted, none more tame and meek, so that one could scarce see her for herself. She was so changed and altered as if her spirit dismounted with her body. No sword would please her but one taken out of the church of Saint Catherine in Fierbois in Touraine. Her first service was in twice victualling of Orleans, whilst the English made no resistance, as if they had eyes only to gaze, and no arms to fight. I love it. Hence she sent a menacing letter to the Earl of Suffolk, the English general, commanding him in God's and her own name to yield up the keys of all good cities to her, the Virgin sent by God to restore them to the French. The letter was received with scorn, and the trumpeter that brought it commanded to be burnt against the law of nations, saith a French author, but erroneously, for his coming was not wanted by the authority of all lawful prince, but from a private maid, how highly soever self-pretended, who had neither estate to keep nor commission to send a trumpeter. Now the minds of the French were all afloat with this, the conceit of their new general, which miraculously raised their spirits. Fancy is the castle commanding the city, and if once men's heads be possessed with strange imaginations, the whole body will follow and be infinitely transported therewithal. Under her conduct they first drive away the English from Orleans, nor was she a whit daunted when shot through her arm with an arrow, but taking the arrow in one hand and her sword in another, "This is a favour," said she, "let us go on, they cannot escape the hand of God." And she never left off till she had beaten the English from the city. And hence this virago marched on into other countries, which instantly revolted to the French crown. Call her now John or Joan. The example of the first place was the reason of all the rest to submit. The English in many skirmishes were worsened and defeated with few numbers. But what shall we say? When God intends a nation shall be beaten, he ties their hands behind them. The French followed their blow, losing no time, lest the height of their spirits should be remitted. Men's imaginations, when once on foot, must ever be kept going, like those that go on stilts in finny countries, lest standing still they be in danger of falling. And so, keeping the conceit of their soldiers at the height, in 1 12-month they recovered the greatest part of that the English did possess. But success did afterwards fail this she general, for seeking to surprise Saint Honorary's ditch near the city of Saint Denis. She was not only wounded herself, but also lost a troop of her best and most resolute soldiers. And not long after, now the city of Compiègne, being too Copine, I'm not sure, being too far engaged in fight, was taken prisoner by the bastard of Vendelsum, who sold her to the Duke of Bedford, and by him she was kept a prisoner a 12-month in Rouen. It was much disputed amongst the statists what should be done with her. Some held that no punishment was to be inflicted her, because cruelty to a woman brings honor unto no man. Besides, putting her to death would render all Englishmen guilty which should hereafter be taken prisoners by the French. Her former valor deserved praise. Her present misery deserved pity. Captivity being no ill action but ill success, let them rather allow her an honorable pension, and so make her valiant deeds their own by rewarding them. However, she ought not to be put to death, for if the English would punish her, they could not more disgrace her than with life, to let her live, though in a poor mean way, and then she would be the best confutation of her own glorious prophecies. Let them make her the laundress to the English, who was leader to the French army. Against these arguments necessity of state was urged, a reason above all reason, it being in vain to dispute whether that may be done which must be done. For the French superstition of her could not be reformed except the idol was destroyed, and it would spoil the French puppet plays in this nature for her forever after, by making her an example. Besides, she was no prisoner of war, but a prisoner of justice, deserving death for her witchcraft and whoredoms, whereupon she was burnt at Rouen the 6th of July, 1461, not without the aspersion of cruelty on our nation. Learned men are in a great doubt what to think of her. Some make her a saint and inspired by God's Spirit, whereby she discovered strange secrets and foretold things to come. She had ever an old woman which went with her and tutored her, and 'tis suspicious, seeing this clock would not go without that rusty wheel. that these things might be done by confederation, by confederacy, though some more uncharitable conceive them to be done by Satan himself. It could be an adversary for sure. Two customs she had which can go by no way be defended. Two customs she had which can by no way be defended. One was her constant going in man's clothes, flatly against Scripture. Ye mark all the miracles in God's word, wherein thou men's estates be often changed, poor to rich, bond to free, sick to sound, yea to dead, yea to dead. Or is it ye dead to living? Yeah, that's probably better, huh? Yet we read of no old I'm not sure about that. I'm not familiar with it. I see it all the time, but like I say, you don't know how it sounds, you don't know how it sounds. No old Asian? No. I'm not sure Asian. I know that's like a S, that second sign. Made young, no woman, if it's turned to a man, or man Tyruses to a woman. See, and I know they bust these words up like they do. They do that shit on purpose, man. I don't know. It might be for hell. If I knew what this shit sounded like, it'd probably help. You know what I mean? Having it busted like that. But I'll be noticing it. Excuse me. Okay, I butchered this up bad, but I'm not gonna make it worse. Okay, utterly unlawful, therefore, was this Joan's behavior, as an occasion to lust, and our English writers say that when she was to be condemned, she confessed herself to be with child, to prolong her life, but being reprieved 7 months for the trial thereof, it was found false. But grant her honest, though she did not burn herself, yet she might kindle others, and provoke them to wantonness. Besides, she shaved her head in the fashion of a friar, against God's express word, it being also a solicity in nature, all women being born votaries, and the veil of their long hair minds them of their obedience they naturally owe to man. Yea, without this comely ornament of hair, their most glorious beauty appears as deformed as the sun would be prodigious without beams, wherein she had a smack of monkery, which makes all the rest the more suspicious, as being sent to maintain as well the friars as the French crown. And if we survey all the pretended miracles of that age, we shall find what tune soever they sung, still they had something in the clothes in the favor of friars, though brought in as by the by, yet perchance chiefly intended, so that the whole sentence was made for the parenthesis. We will close the different opinions which several authors have of her with this epitaph. Here lies Joan of Arc, the witch. Some count saint, and some count witch. Some count man, and something more. Some count maid, and some a whore. Her life's a question, wrong or right. Her death's in doubt, by laws or might. O innocence, take heed of it, how thou too near to guilt dost fit. Sit? Not fit, no sit. How thou too near to guilt dost sit. Meantime France a wonder saw, a woman rule against siliqual law. But reader be content to stay thy censure till the judgment day. Then shalt thou know, and not before, whether saint, witch, man, maid, or whore. Some conceive that the English conquest, being come to the vertical point, would have decayed of themselves, had this woman never been set up, which now reaps the honour hereof as her action, though thus a very child may seem to turn the waves of the sea with his breath, if casually blowing on them at their very instant when the tide is to turn of itself. Sure, after her death the French went on victoriously, and won all from the English, partly by their valor, but more by their decisions. For then began the cruel wars betwixt the houses of York and Lancaster, till the red rose might become white, by losing so much blood, and the white rose red by shedding it. I'm telling you, these old books, they tell you what's going on. And this book right here, it's got every role, it's got all the roles, and a very understandable you know exactly what the hell they know what the script's gonna fucking play out at. Like a lot of these motherfuckers, you will look at them and you will be like, oh man, like there was one, because I mean, you know. This one right here, the degenerate gentleman. Oh man, you read him, you'll be like, what? You you want to know what that? You want to know what a gentleman is? Read this, the degenerate. You read that shit right there, man. There was one I thought I that wasn't really the one I was, but I can't remember what it was. I'm not sure. Because like, see this one, this one right here. I'm thinking. See how it breaks it down. See what I'm saying? And then you have the profane. I think this is him. I think this is him right here. I don't know how, okay, I don't know how close it is, but hold up. Yeah, that's him. So it's like, nah, come on, man. Yeah, I mean, he got the liar. He got all of them, man. They have all of them in here. Yeah, man, I can't believe I did that. I'm gonna kill this one and I'll be back. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like that because I don't wanna run it. Yeah, I've been talking for 30 minutes. Yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. I'll be back. Till next time, I'm out.